Hello, my name is Laura Urban, and today I want to talk to you about why Western civilization is relevant to today. So, there are three reasons why Western civilization is relevant to today. The first one is it provides a background knowledge. The second one, a lens from which people can or historians can view the world from. And the third one is an ability to scrutinize the past. So, I used three authors about Western civilization Richard Volz, Wendy Peterson Boring, and Alan Charles Kors. Richard Volz spoke about how to view the world from a lens, and he was speaking about in his writing how with the West as Western civilization, there's like a global approach, and that it's how the world got to be where it is today. And it allows historians and readers to forge connections between the U.S. and the older traditions of Europe. And that the United States history comes from Western civilization's history. He proceeds to move on from that, and he explains that it is a major survey. Western civilization is a major survey of all European history, allowing historians to gain broad knowledge, and that the world civilization is part of Western civilization. So when you look at world civilization or Western civilization allows you to view it from that lens, that perspective. And then Wendy Peterson Boring, she wrote about how historians needed a wider perspective in their ability to understand information. And the way to provide that wider perspective was a Western civilization course. That the original courses that they pursued that were not Western civilization didn't allow them to understand or gain the in-depth knowledge they need of European Union. So when they, like European nations, so when they took just a world history class or world civilizations class, it didn't focus as much on Europe as they needed for them to understand that information or that knowledge, and that it was needed to allow them to understand better and more wide range information with Europe, and that her approach to it was as a sustainability and how it was needed to sustain their knowledge and pursue a higher aspect of learning. And then Alan Charles Kors, he wrote about Western civilization and whether or not it survived in the 20th century. And he believed that it is a deep study, and that through that deep study, it allows people to scrutinize the past, and their ability to scrutinize the past is used in the fact that, like, you can understand information as a Western civilization, and those people who disagree with Western civilization are disagreeing it using Western civilization facts. So their knowledge and their information comes from their understanding of Western civilization, and they're in that context, they're disagreeing with Western civilization. So that it is a broad use of Western civilization, and it's needed for historians to understand. And so that's why it's relevant to today, so that their ability to understand and gain those concepts and grasp that understanding can be sought out and followed through. So that's one of the reasons why. And it doesn't, while it does have its negative points, it allows them to understand and have a broader range of information. So in the historiographies, most of them agree that Western civilization was an important fact or piece of information that needed to be read and it needed to be studied. While some of them believed that it is a bit more nuanced than that. They think that, like, if they're a left or a liberal view, that you need to understand further. There's more things that need to be added to it, but it is a perspective that needs to be heard in order for someone to actually understand and gain information, and that it's an important class to have. So I hope you understand. Thanks.